Tonight in our Missing in Arizona report, we spotlight a case out of northeastern Arizona, Sweetwater to be exact. Loved ones of a missing Navajo woman continue to search for answers more than 5 months later.
62-year-old Begay was last seen at her home, and now investigators believe that she was a victim of a homicide. Fox 10's Justin Lum investigates.
For Seraphine Warren, she could rely on her aunt since she can remember. She's never forgotten Begay. The 62-year-old always kept to herself, especially when COVID-19 ravaged the Navajo Nation. May stayed safe in her Sweetwater home, doing what she loved.
She's reserved, she's cautious. She's a master rug weaver.
Creating and designing her hand-woven rugs, illustrating the farmlands of her people, cow and sheep grazing with Monument Valley in the background. The phrase, "bless our home," weaved into most of the tapestries, words of protection. But May was not protected during the early hours of June 15th, disappearing overnight. Seraphine lives in Utah and says she received calls from family members immediately.
She was cautious, she knew her surroundings, and at the time she went missing, they said was really out of character for her because it was 2:30 in the morning.
Out of character. The woman who rarely left home now vanished. Navajo police announced the disappearance and asked the public to look out for May's silver 2005 Ford F-150. Days into the investigation, police provided an update on social media.
We have made a transition from a missing persons investigation into a foul play investigation.
May's disappearance now classified as a homicide. At the same time, a person of interest identified just days into the search. Preston Toth would be arrested on unrelated charges and held for questioning in connection to May's case. Since then, he's been released and no other arrests have been made. Seraphine is left with unanswered questions.
We weren't getting any answers from law enforcement. They left us for a whole month and we were walking in circles. We were just searching areas that we assumed that she might be.
Despite Navajo PD and the FBI search efforts, Seraphine has consistently made the trip from Utah to Sweetwater to organize her own search for her aunt. She even met with Navajo Nation President Jonathan Nez during her 150-mile walk to shine a light on the nationwide issue of missing and murdered Indigenous women. Her memory of May's love keeps her going.
And we're doing everything we can to find my aunt.
Knowing that that's what she felt towards us, that motivates me to find her, to make sure she comes home.
Why would somebody do this to a family?
Fox 10 asked Navajo police to discuss the case, but a spokesperson has not responded on an official interview. As for a wide scope, the National Crime Information Center reports nearly 5,300 records were filed for missing Indigenous females in 2020, a large majority children or teenagers. But advocates for missing or murdered Indigenous women believe cases are vastly underreported due to jurisdictional complexities between federal, state, and tribal law enforcement agencies. Meantime, Seraphine continues to use her voice for her aunt Begay.
And I know that she wants people that did this to her to be found and to be held accountable for what they did.
Justin Lum, Fox 10.
In April 2021, the Secretary of the U.S. Department of the Interior announced the launch of the Missing and Murdered Unit, known as MMU, within the Bureau of Indian Affairs Office of Justice Services. The goal is to use federal government resources to investigate these specific cases. Anyone with tips on May's case should call the Navajo Police Department Shiprock District. Head to fox10phoenix.com for more information.
What you have just heard is an interview by Fox 10 in Phoenix, Arizona. They're interviewing the family of Miss May Begay, who is missing. She's an indigenous woman on the Navajo reservation. So let me give you a little bit more information. The missing persons investigation case remains open on LMA. And Gerald, her son, continues trying to live a normal life, describing a close mother and son relationship with LMA. He said it's hard not to be consumed with grief and other emotions when he thinks of what may have happened to his mother. For now, his children and job occupy his days. LMA Begay has been missing since June 2021, and last week the FBI offered a reward of $5,000 for information leading to anyone involved with her disappearance. Offering this reward is the tool we have to further publicize the case, with hopes people with any information come forward and share it. That's from an FBI spokesperson in Phoenix. LMA's case has become well known throughout the country, which is rare because cases involving missing Indigenous women rarely, if ever, draw much attention. Her case has been one of the many like it that has sharpened the focus on issues of murdered and missing Indigenous women and relatives. Begay, 62, at the time of her disappearance, lived in one of the most remote communities on the Navajo Nation called Tolokan, or Sweetwater. Her 2005 Ford F-50 truck was seen leaving her home in the early morning of June 15th. Family and authorities believe the truck may have been driven toward Thoreau, New Mexico, and may have gone on to Albuquerque. The truck is gray or silver with a broken tailgate and would not close, with Arizona license plate AFE 7101. It's never been found. Due to the fact this is still an open investigation, we cannot share any more information or provide case updates per policy, said the FBI. But whatever attention the case has received, it's not because of law enforcement authorities, but rather the family and the family's attorney. The process of trying to get reward money from the FBI is not easy. It's the calling and sending the request to the chain of command, and you never really know how things will progress. In the Jamie Yazzie case, it took 5 months for reward money to be offered. In LMA's case, it's taken 10 months after the request for reward money. Gerald had last spoken to his mom 3 days before she went missing to tell her and his family would be visiting her the following month. She was excited knowing they would be visiting after such a lengthy time. I still text my mom on her birthday, said Gerald. I'm hoping her to text me back. LMA Begay, and that is her niece with the same name, a Navajo woman, is walking to Washington, D.C. to focus attention on her missing aunt. Bringing awareness to his mom's missing case is important, but he also wants to fix the system. He and his family believe the Navajo police, investigators, and leaders derailed the early signs of the investigation. LMA Begay was born on September 28, 1958. She has brown hair and brown eyes. Height, 5 feet tall. Weight, 120 pounds. She speaks both English and Navajo. If you have any information concerning this person, please contact your local FBI office or the nearest American embassy or consulate. Thank you. Okay, guys, I hope you have a great Tuesday. Let's do it like I say. Share it. But of course, it never gets shared. Love y'all.